Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome and I hope you are doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make your own hair weft using braiding hair. Okay, so with that said, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so here are the things you will need for this tutorial. You will need paper tape, and you will need scissors, hair comb, thread to sew the weft. You also need some pre-stretch braiding hair. I have a separate video showing you guys how to achieve this custom braiding hair color right here. The link to that video is in the description box down below. Okay, so to start, you need to take your pre-stretch braiding hair and cut it in half, just like I'm doing in this video. Okay, so to start, you need to take your tape and lay it on the table with the sticky side facing you. So cut a little bit of the tape to secure it to the table. So once you're done prepping the tape, the next step is to take your braiding hair and start spreading it on the tape. You want to make sure to press it on there so that way it sticks to the tape, sticks to the hair. Okay, so moving on to the next step. So for this part, you need to place the tape with the sticky side facing down, which is facing the hair, to secure the hair in place before going ahead to transfer it from the table to your workspace. Okay, so now that that is done, the next step is to take it to your sewing machine and start sewing the hair. Okay, so here's how the weft is looking so far with the first stitch in place. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple more stitches, about 6 to 8 before the next step. So I accidentally sewed on the tape, on the back side of the tape, so I couldn't see it. To try not to sew on the tape because it's not easy taking it out. As you can see right here, I'm struggling to tear out the tape. So please pay attention to what you're doing and do not sew on the tape. Okay, so right here, like I said, I'm going to be adding a couple more stitches, about 6 to 8 stitches on this area right here before moving on to the next step. So after doing that, I think I did a total of eight stitches, and also every time I make sure to do a back stitch to secure the thread in place. Okay, so right now I'm going to be folding the ends of the hair over. So right now I'm going ahead to fold the ends of the hair over. Okay, right there, and I'm gonna do two more stitches on the folded end. So once you're done sewing the weft, the next step is to take out the tape. The tape will come up super easily when you don't sew on it. It barely sticking to the hair, so you just need to tear it out. So pay attention to what you're doing. Don't be like me, okay? Don't sew over the tape. It's super easy to take it out if you don't sew over it, okay? So moving on to the next step. Once you're done removing the tape, now it's time to trim the fold over edge a little bit short. So as you can see right here, I'm going in with my scissors to trim it down a little bit. So after trimming the fold over ends, the next step is to set your flat iron to a low heat or medium heat. So before you go into flat iron the hair, please make sure to test it out on a small piece of hair to make sure the heat is right for the synthetic hair before going into flat ironing, because you don't want to melt the hair, so you need to use the right heat for this process. So once you set your flat iron to your preferred heat, now you need to flat iron the edge of the weft, just like I'm doing in this video. Okay, so once that is done, now you need to flat iron the rest of the hair. So first you start by brushing the hair, make sure there's no tangle. Okay, so once that is done, you go in with your flat iron and start flat ironing the hair. Don't hold it for once, don't hold the flat iron on one spot for too long. Just gently glide it through the hair to flat iron the hair. Again, like I said, you always want to make sure to test the heat on a different piece of hair, of synthetic hair, to make sure the heat is right for your weft wig. Yeah, you always want to test it out. Okay, so here is the final result of the single weft hair bundle. made out of braiding hair. So this is the single weft one I'm holding right here. The one next to it is a double weft bundle. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the double weft bundle. So stay tuned for the next video. As always, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you find it helpful, and also hit the subscribe button down below if you are new to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be turning this bulk hair into hair weft. So this is the same braiding hair I used for the Afro crochet braid I did about 2 months ago. So today I'm going to be transforming them from regular braiding hair into weft, so that way I can use it for a wig. Okay, so with that said, let's go straight into the video. So today I'm going to be using this clear tape. So I'm starting by putting the tape on the table, securing the tape to the table. I have a bottom one and a top layer right here, as you can see. So next I'm going to be placing the braiding hair on top. So first I start by taking a little bit of hair. So next I'm going to go in with my brush to brush the hair, just to help spread it out a bit before placing them on the tape. So right now I'm going ahead to place the hair on the tape, making sure to press it down to secure the hair down to the tape. So again, doing the same thing, I started by taking a little bit of hair from that, and next I'm going in with my brush to spread the hair out before placing it on the tape. So now that I'm done, I'm going in with another layer on tape on top of the hair to help secure the top in place. Although the clear tape is not as sticky as the paper tape, but it works. So now that that is done, I'm going to remove it, detach the tape from the table, and next step is to take it to my sewing machine and start making the weft. So I went ahead and did the rest of camera, and here you go. So starting off, I'm not going to be doing a reverse or backstage because it's the beginning. So I'm just going to place the needle down and start sewing. So once I get to the end of the weft, or to the end of the tape, as you can see right here, I'm going to put the needle down and raise the presser foot up. So this way I can flip the hair around just like I'm doing in this video. So now that that is done, I place the presser foot back down. So now I'm going ahead to continue sewing the hair. So I did that about eight times. So yeah, so I just continue doing that. But once I get to the end, I lift up the press foot, turn the hair around, and continue sewing. Okay, so for the next step, I'm going to be folding the hair over, the short side of the hair over, just like this. So now I'm going to do a top stitch on the folded edge. Okay, so right now I'm going ahead to do a top stitch, and also today I'm only doing the single weft. I'm not going to be doubling the weft. I'm just going to go with the single weft method. I don't have enough hair to do the double weft today. So doing the same thing, once I get to the end, I'm going to put the needle down and lift the presser foot up. So again, just like that, and next I turn the hair around so that way I can do another row of another line of stitch all the way to the end. So make sure to do a back stitch to secure the thread in place. Okay, so now that that is done right now, I'm going ahead to remove the tape. So once you're done, it's easy to tear off the tape. So you just take the tape and remove it just like I'm doing in this video. Okay, so as you can see, I have this short wefts. So to extend the length, I'm going to be joining them together, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to take one end of the weft and I'm going to place it on top of the other one, just enough to secure it together. So now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and do a straight stitch or top stitch on the weft. Just placing them together like this. Okay, so doing the same thing, I'm going to lift up the presser foot and flip the hair around just like this. Okay. Okay, so get to the end. I also make sure to do a back stitch to secure the thread in place. So here it is. This is the part where I joined the weft. As you can see right there. So this allows you to have a continuous long weft for the bundle. Okay, also for today, I'm not going to be trimming the folded ends. If you want, you can trim it short, but for today, I'm not going to be trimming the hair just because I want a little bit of volume on the root of the hair once I sew it down. So this is the hair bundle right here. I made two. This is it. Perfect. Hello guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful kinky coily hair bundle using braiding hair. Okay, so to make the hair weft you will need some pre-stretch braiding hair. You can use any color of choice. You will need a hairbrush, a paper tape, and thread to sew the weft. So to start, cut a little bit of the tape and place it with the sticky side down, just like I did in this video. So now cut a longer length of the tape. So for the longer length, you need to place it with the sticky side facing you. So you're going to be using the shorter one you cut to secure the long length one to the table, just like I'm doing in this video. So, and also the space between the tape need to be at least 1 inch wide. So once that is done, take your hairbrush and brush the hair to make sure it's tangle free before going ahead to place it on top of the tape. And also you can arrange the hair on the tape a little by little, just taking a little section at a time to place it and place it on top of the tape. But you want to make sure that you're lining them correctly, making sure that the lengths are lined up correctly. So once that is done, you need to cut another tape and place it on top, making sure to line the tape up, making sure that the tape is lining up correctly with the one on the bottom. So right here, I'm going ahead to make sure that the tape are lining up correctly, making sure that the bottom tape and the top ones are lining up correctly. I don't want to sew on the tape. It's not easy to tear off the tape if you sew on it. So you want to make sure to do it correctly so you don't sew on the tape. Okay, so the next step now is to remove the tape, detach the tape from the table to move the hair to your workspace. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my sewing machine to start the process. I'm going to be using a twin needle for today's project. So this is the second thread right here. So this is the twin needle right here. So this is what I'm going to be using for this quick weft process. So I'm going ahead to remove my single needle, and next I'm going to go ahead and replace that with my twin needle. So you can use a single needle for this process if you don't have a twin needle. It's just that using the twin needle kind of cut down the time you spend on sewing the weft. So right now I'm going ahead to thread the second needle. Okay, so once you thread your needle, the next step is to take the hair and start sewing. So once you get to the end right here, you need to drop your needle down and lift the presser foot up, okay, with the needle down. So once that is done, rotate the hair just like I'm doing in this video. So once that is done, place the presser foot down and continue sewing. So using the twin needle will cut down the time you have to spend in sewing the weft, because you only need to do about 4 passes on the weft instead of 8. Well, you also need 8 or 6 rolls of the stitch. So if you need only 6, then you only need to do like 3 passes. So what I mean is, like, you need 6 rolls of stitch on the weft. So you can do this using a twin needle or a single needle, depending on the one you have. You can make this hair weft using any type of needle you have. So getting to the end, you need to do a back stitch to secure the thread in place before going ahead to cut it. Okay. So once the first step is done, the next step now is to fold the hair in half so you can sew it in place. So just take your time and be careful when doing this. Pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't sew on the tape. I'm using a single needle for this next step. So like I said, you need to pay attention to what you're doing, okay? Pay attention to what you're doing so you don't sew on the tape. It's not easy taking out the tape if you sew on top of it. I tried it and it wasn't fun taking it out. So just pay attention to what you're doing. Take your time. No need to rush it. Just take your time to make sure you are doing it correctly. So again, when starting the sewing process, you need to do a back stitch to secure the thread in place. And when you get to the end, you also need to do a back stitch to secure the thread in place before going ahead to remove it from the sewing machine. So right here, this is how the weft is looking so far. So now that that is done, I'm going ahead to tear off the tape. it comes off easily if you don't sew on it. So yeah. So next you need to fold the weft into 4, just like I'm doing in this video. So now you need to take some bobby pins and pass the bobby pins through the weft, making sure to pass it through all 4 folded weft. Okay, pass it through, and next take the tape and secure the bobby pin to the table. So now I'm going to be braiding the hair. So this is a process of achieving the kinky coily look on the hair weft. So once you make the section for the braid, you need to go back in to brush the hair to make sure it's tangle free. Okay, before going ahead to braid the hair, you need to make sure it's tangle free. So once you make your section, go ahead and braid it. So just braid it all the way to the tip. So the amount of hair you are braiding will determine the size or the tightness of the coils once you are done. So you can decide to have like tighter coils. So for tighter coils, you have to make a smaller braids. For more loose coils, you need to increase the size of the braid. So for the next step, you will need to add some conditioner. You need to add hair conditioner to your bowl, to the bucket, whatever you are using. Add conditioner to that, and next pour your hot water directly on top. Okay, so next you need to take the braided hair weft and dip it into the hot water. Be careful when doing this, don't burn yourself. So once you remove it from the water, dry off the excess water using your towel, and next you need to let the weft air dry completely. Okay, you need to let it air dry completely before going ahead to unravel the braids. So to unravel the braids, you need to do that using your fingers. Don't use comb, just gently unravel the braids using your fingers. So once you're done unraveling the braids, the next step now is to open up the weft. So you remember you fold it into 4, so now you need to unfold it. So you can brush the hair out just like I'm doing right here. And also if you need to reduce the volume of the hair after brushing it, all you have to do is to take a water bottle, add in a little bit of conditioner, mix it together and spray it on the hair. So once you're done spraying it on the hair, you need to work the water into the hair. So this will reduce the volume of the hair and also define the coils, as you can see right there. So you can either comb it out or leave it just as it is. So you just have to decide for yourself. The hair feels so soft, like it's really, really soft. And look at this, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. All right, guys, so this is the final result of the kinky coily DIY hair bundles or hair weft made out of braiding hair. As always, if you find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button down below if you are new to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a double weft hair bundle. So with that said, let's jump right into the video. So in my last video, I showed you guys how to make the single weft hair bundle using the tape method. This video is going to be a little bit different because I won't be using the tape for the process. So to start, you need to cut your braiding hair in half just like I did in this video. So next, take a hairband and put it into a ponytail. So next, take it to your sewing machine. So it's time to start sewing the hair. So for this part, you're going to be using your fingers to spread out the hair evenly to achieve the thickness you want for the weft. So, and also you're going to be helping to push the hairs through the presser foot to help feed the hair through. Again, you need to use your fingers to spread out the hair to maintain the thickness you want for the hair weft. You can use a comb, but that might pull out some of the hair, so I didn't want to go through that process, so I decided to just spread the hair out using my fingers. So you need to take the next bundle and overlap it, okay? So to get rid of any gap on the weft, okay? So once that is done, go ahead and continue gradually feeding the hair through the machine, making sure to maintain the thickness of of the hair you want for your weft. So once you're done, you need to flip the hair over just like I'm doing in this video. You just need to lift up the presser foot, right, with the needle down. So once that is done, you need to drop the presser foot down and continue sewing the hair. So again, like I said, you need to take your time with this process. Just gradually feed the hair through the machine. So again, like I said, you need to put the needle down and raise your presser foot up. Next, flip the hair around just like I did in this video. Once that is done, place the presser foot back down and continue sewing. So you need to do about 6 to 8 rows of the stitch, okay? So once you're done sewing it, the next step now is to fold the hair over. So just fold it over just like I did in this video. So for this part, you need to be extremely careful, pay attention to what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you're pressing the hair down flat and making sure that it's laying the way you want it to lay. You don't want some strands sticking out of the other side. Okay, and also remember to do a back stitch. So again, like I said, this part doesn't need to be rushed. You need to take your time to ensure that you're folding the hair correctly. So this is how the weft is looking so far. So here's how the weft is looking so far. Okay, so moving on to the next step, you need to open up the weft. Okay, so now you need to trim the short ends, the ones you fold over. You need to trim them short a little bit more. Again, you need to take your time, pay attention to what you're doing so that you don't cut the long strands. So you only need to trim down the short strands or the short ends. Okay, so moving on to the next step, you need to start by brushing the hair to make sure it's tangle free. So now you need to fold the hair in half, okay, making sure that the wrong sides of the hair weft are facing. As you can see, which means the side with the short ends need to be facing each other. I'm going to show you one more time so that way you see what I'm talking about. So as you can see right here, the short ends are facing each other. This is what you want when it's time to double the weft, okay? You want to make sure to take your time and line up the weft correctly at the edge so that way you'll have it neatly done. So no need to rush it, just take your time, take as much time as you need to line them up correctly. And gradually guide the hair through uh, the machine. So doing the same thing, once you get to the end, you need to do a back stitch to secure the stitch in place. So with the double weft bundle, you can do the fold over method without worrying about the short strands or short ends sticking out when you do that. So this is secured. It's guaranteed to have a smooth sew in without having the short strands sticking out. Okay, so once that is done, the next step now is to take your flat iron and flat iron the edge of the weft. Okay, so for this part, you need to make sure that your flat iron is set to the right temperature. You can set it to a low heat or medium heat depending on the amount of heat the hair can take. As always, you need to test out the heat on a little piece of hair to make sure the heat is right for your hair bundle, for your wig. You know, you always want to test it out first. So here is the final result of the DIY double weft hair bundle made out of braiding hair. As always, if you find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button down below if you are new to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make your own hair wefts at home using a sewing machine and some braiding hair. So the technique I'm going to be showing you guys today will help to prevent the hair from shedding once you are done making your weft. So be sure to watch every part of this video so you don't miss out on any details or tips that I'm going to be giving in this video, okay? Okay, so to start, cut a piece of the yarn and place it on the table just like I'm doing in this video. Next, take a tape and secure the ends to the table. So help to secure the yarn to the table. So this right here will be the straight guideline for the weft. So now cut a long piece of the tape, place it on the table with the sticky side facing up. So cut a small piece of the tape and secure the ends of the tape to the table. Again, place the long piece of the tape with the sticky side facing up. So now repeat the same thing on the other side of the yarn, just like this. so once that is done, the next step is to take the hair you're going to be using and cut it in half. So to start, you need to take a little bit of the hair, and next you need to spread out the tip of the hair just like I'm doing in this video, making sure to properly spread them out so that way it will spread evenly and thin on the tape. So once you place it on the tape like this, you need to use your fingers and gently spread out the hair. If it's not properly spread out before, just gently spread it out and press it. Make sure to press the hair to the tape, so that way it will stick to the tape. The bottom part of the hair will stick to the tape. Now you want to go ahead and repeat this until you get to the end of the tape. So I'm just going to do a close up. As you can see, once you take the amount of hair you're going to be working with, you need to spread it out using your finger or comb, but be careful when using the comb, it might drag most of the strands forward. So just spread it out like this and gently place it on top of the tape, making sure to press it down to ensure that the hair sticks to the tape. So like I said, as you can see, the yarn, I'm using that as a straight guideline for the middle part of the weft, which is where I'm going to be stitching. So once you're done placing the hairs on the tape, the next step now is to secure the top part of it in place. So you need to cut out a piece of tape, and now you need to place it with the sticky side facing down on top of the ends of the hair, as you can see right there, just like I'm doing in this video. You want to make sure to line the one you're placing on top with the one on the bottom. Okay, line them up correctly and make sure to press it down once you place it on top, so that way it sticks to the hair and the tape on the bottom. Okay, so once that is done, cut off the excess tape from the end, just like I'm doing in this video. So take another piece of tape and place it at the end like this and fold it over, so that way you're securing both ends of the tape together to keep everything firm and in place. Okay, so just cut off the excess tape and the weft is ready for the next step. So you want to go ahead and repeat the same process on the rest of the hair until you have enough for what you need. So I did the rest of camera, so here you go. And also I only used 2 bundles out of the 3 bundles I bought, so I'm going to be ventilating the remaining 1 bundle. Once you're done prepping your hair, the next step is to take it to your sewing machine and start sewing. So now I'm going to start with the stitching process. So you're going to take your weft, slide it through. I'm going to do 3 rolls. Okay, so the 3 roll of stitch will be the guideline for this sewing process. I'm going to place it down. I'm going to do the one in the middle first. Slide it through. Next, place your presser foot down. So once that is done, you need to drop the needle. Okay, drop the needle like that. So now you need to start stitching the weft. Start by holding these threads, okay, the bobby thread and the machine thread together like this. This is your starting point. With your thumb and your fingers, hold the weft in place and start stitching. So now I'm gonna do the first row right in the middle. I'm gonna make sure that the hair is under the presser foot and not over. If the hair is over, it's going to be hooking on the presser foot, and make sure to use your fingers to help guide the hair through. You don't have to force it. The machine will do the work for you, so you just gently want to guide it through and not force it. So just pull the hair down like this, and the presser foot will just gently and gradually feed the hair all the way through, just pulling it through the other side. So just put your hand down, your fingers is just to help it to ensure that the hairs are not on top of the presser foot. So you don't want any of the strands on top of the presser foot. If one or two strands end up on top of the presser foot, all you have to do is just take a scissors or a thread cutter and just cut it like that, and it will release the strand. So once you get to the end, you need to drop the needle down. Okay, drop the needle down like this. So next you need to raise the presser foot up. Just raise it up. So now you take the weft and turn it around. So with the needle down, okay? Turn it around. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of space between this one and the next row that I'm about to stitch. Just about that much. So you need to leave a little room between this one and the next row. So once you've turned it around like this, the next step is to put the presser foot back down. Just put it down like this. Okay, so now you can use one side of the presser foot as your guideline for the spacing. I'm just gonna go back stitch if you want. Okay, so for this part you need to make sure also to take your time to ensure that the line is straight and the spacing is right. So again, you don't need to rush the process. Okay, you need to take your time to ensure that you're doing it correctly. So you see the spacing right there? So I'm going to be adding another row on the other side. Also, I'm going to be spacing it out using the same spacing I use on the other side. So once you get to the end, you need to do the same thing. Drop the needle down and raise the presser foot up. So next, turn the weft around with the needle down, okay? So I'm going to move. The needle is still down, so I'm just moving the weft a little bit to create space right there. So now I'm going to drop the needle and continue with the stitching process. Back stitch. So again, making sure to give it a little bit of space. So the spacing right here that I'm giving is to enable me to fold the hair over. So it will help to hold the strands firm when I fold the hair over. I'm going to add another one to this one right here, but stitching it very close. Okay, so now I'm going to add one more row close to the last one. I'm going to move my needle. Sorry, move the weft. So for this last part right here, I'm gonna do a reverse stitch to secure the thread in place. And go. Okay. So now I'm gonna fold the weft over using the first spacing right here. The spacing, this first one, I'm gonna fold it over. Okay, so you fold it over like this. So now you need to stitch on there. The back stitch. Okay. So I'm only going to be doing one row of stitch on this first fold over edge. So I'm just going to sew it all the way to the end here and do a back stitch to help secure the thread in place. So right now, doing a back stitch to help secure the thread in place. So I'm just going to remove it. Okay, so this is how the weft is looking so far with the first fold over edge. So for this next step, I'm going to be folding it again the second time. So I'm doing a double fold. So this will secure the strands, the hairs in place. So doing it this way will prevent your weft from shedding. Okay. So this is the second spacing. And this is the first fold over edge. First fold over edge is very flat, as you can see right here. So folding it over again will give the fold over edge a little bit of volume and also help to secure the strands in place. So using this technique will make sure that the hairs and strands are in place. So now I'm going to fold it over to the side with the short ends. Okay, see right there? So just take it and fold it over one more time. So this is the fold over edge. So now you need to stitch on top of this. Fold it over and stitch on top. Drop. Press the foot and the needle down. So again, to start, I'm gonna do a back stitch. So using your finger, you need to press it flat. Press it flat like that. Okay, and start stitching. I need to stitch it in place. So the next step now is to take out the tapes and also trim the short ends of the weft off. All right, almost done. Okay, so the next step now is to take your hairbrush and brush the hair through to remove any strands that wasn't properly stitched down. So the ones that didn't make it to the stitching party, you need to brush those ones out. Okay. All right, so I'm just going in one more time to brush the hair through. I kind of run my finger through it to make sure there are no extra strands coming out of the hair. And there you go. This is it right here. This is the final result. Look at this. Perfect. So we've come to the end of today's video. As always, if you find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and also leave your comment down below. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that way whenever I post a new video, you will get notified. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, and I'll see you all in my next video.